Okay, negotiations, insurance of the city salary schedule.
The insurance information that I'll give you is kind of short, and there's a couple people here that are on the insurance committee, so I'm going to let them speak up if I'm not explaining this well enough, whatever. One of the things we agreed with both unions last year is that we would come back and take a look at health insurance, and I'm going to give it to you two, who are
I spoke before, so it's her turn.
No, you don't have to say anything. I just want you to see what I have written up. We have a joint committee, so we have people from licensed staff members from the SAC Education Association and the Walleye Auburn Education Association. And the highlights on here are simple. The business department, administration, and joint committee have been meeting to discuss health insurance for district employees, and we're really talking about our licensed employees and the groups that we're working with right now. First meeting was primarily informational, and Leslie Mays from Mercer Agency came out and sat down with us and tried to just sort of educate us all at the board meeting, and that each group, SAC and Walleye Auburn unions, would talk with their members about those 4 questions. Has SAC union met?
Yes, the day that it was so nasty out.
Yeah,
we really didn't have a very good turnout in the weather.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, because I just emailed Lana tonight and said, have you had a meeting yet?
No.
I've heard back from Eric McCullough, who's one of the reps for the Walleye Auburn Education Association. He gave a reply to those 4 things, so I'll get that from you guys. And we knew we probably wouldn't have it by this meeting. But if you guys talked about some things that they did, we've already got some starting points to talk. One of the things we talked about, so the boards know, is that a little bit of concern about if we open up the master contract for negotiations. If we open those up, both parties, labor and union, have to discuss, labor and management have to accept the fact that we're only negotiating certain things. So if we open it, it doesn't mean it's open for negotiation of everything. We open it, we identify what we're going to talk about, which might be health insurance, and then that's the only scope that we're going to look at. And Iowa has open scope, but if you're going to reopen an agreement that you already have, you identify what the things are that you're going to talk about. Otherwise, you start saying, well, we'll give you this money, but then we want to take away a day here, or no, we're just talking about health insurance. And I assured them that that would not be a problem. That was our issue, was health insurance, and we weren't looking to change everything else in the contract at the present time. If the unions choose to formally negotiate health insurance, then that's what I described right here, is that we'll need to open up those 2 master contracts. We meet again next week. The last bullet is new information. We don't have all the details yet, and I think I just got an email while the board was in their last meeting from Leslie from Mercer. But we've been informed by Mercer that we will have an 11.5% increase in insurance. That's the middle of 5 tiers this year, and the tiers are 2%, 4.5%, 11.5%, 16.5%, and 21.5%. Now, what's bad is we felt good about 11.5% increase. That's what's really sad, I think. But we were told we should expect to receive our actual plan rate sometime after the 10th. And like I said, I got an email from Leslie, and I didn't open it, but I'm sure it's the new plan rate. So,
did we budget for that? The 11.5% increase?
Well, it's all part of the, how much of that does it eat up the 3.5% raise?
We've already negotiated a 3.5% package, so that will age the schedule. And then whatever, after aging is left, we apply to insurance. We even talked about what it might do to what the salary schedule looks like. I don't know what aging costs.
We haven't ran the numbers, Brent, but aging the schedule is usually 1 to 1.5%.
I would say this is going to just about eat it all up. Yeah, that sounds right.
And then this 11% in insurance, we figured between 1.5% and 2%. So
you're 3.5%.
Most of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and we actually talked about that. So what does that mean? We didn't have exact numbers, but now, like I said, I think we probably do, so we can start to look at what that will mean.
Was Leslie Mays there when you guys talked about the employees that are double covered?
No, but an employee of ours, Cindy, who happens to be here, emailed her about it.
Okay, because I was told before that that was a big issue. They wouldn't do it. It's basically however many certified staff you have is what they want insured.
No.
We have to have group sizes, but there is an issue of group
Okay.
size.
Yes.
But go ahead and tell
If you
me.
have 50 employees
Okay.
that are qualified, it really doesn't matter how many of those employees take the insurance, is what she told us. But when I emailed her the situation, you know, if I was double covered,
Right.
would it be possible to get off the school's insurance? Can I get back on it at some point? If something would happen to my spouse's insurance, you know, could that happen? Yes, that was okay. This would have to happen in that case, and she was very good. She
Good.
had lots of answers
You
for
want
us.
to identify yourself.
Oh, I'm just Cindy Webker. I'm the kindergarten teacher, and I'm on the committee.
That way people can know who they are.
Mona, what's that?
Oh,
Introduce
Mona
yourself.
Dick.
Yeah, and Mona's on the insurance committee as well.
I think that point is a way for the future. I think you're going to see a lot of other businesses going to that where, you know, if a family already has a plan, then they're not even going to offer it to the other spouse. And I've heard about that maybe.
And a lot of businesses, the employees have had to buy the bullet with a higher deductible because it just becomes unmanageable for private business too, so. We don't like it, you know, I have to pay cash and I think $2,500 deductible on anything I do, so that's way
Yeah,
more.
that,
so.
yeah, and the HSAs are just, you know, insurance is a problem.
It's been a very amicable discussion, and I thought we made great progress. And like I said, we're going to meet next week, and we knew that we needed to talk with boards about just kind of currently where we were at, and each of the associations needed to meet, so.
And both sides are willing to look. Both sides are willing to look at ways to save the district money. So
It's just becoming harder and harder. It's going to go down.
I know it.
Unfortunate.
In that same arena of discuss negotiations, that first item of insurance, second item of single salary schedule. We have had teacher quality money for 3-4 years. And if you remember in the Iowa legislature over the course of 3 years, there was an initial amount of teacher quality money to boost teacher pay. The beginning discussion about this was that teacher pay, average teacher pay in Iowa was so low compared to other states in the nation that the legislature was committing money to pump that into teacher pay. So they rolled it in over, I think it was a 3-year time period, and there was X number of million, then the next year there was X number of million, to the point where we're now at the max, and the hope would be that the legislators can continue that number. Last year, during the legislative session, it was legislated that we take that amount of money and we put it on our current salary schedule, and that schools needed to negotiate that. How it has happened for both SAC and Wall Lake Auburn is that the first money we take out of that pool in each district, and it's based on how many teachers you have. Okay? There's a dollar amount per teacher, and we receive these chunks of money. The very first thing we have to do is meet the 2 teacher minimums. So if our base pay is $23,000 and the minimum is $28,500, then the very first thing that happens is all those teachers making $23,000, the first teacher quality money goes to bump them to $28,500. Okay, and then we set those teachers aside. Then the first and second year teachers. Then the next bump is at 3 years, and it's $30,000. Okay, and that's what's funneled out first. And then the remaining pool of money is really what we negotiate, because the first part of it is already dictated by Iowa code. So then that next part, and in both districts it's been distributed the same, it's just evenly distributed among the teachers. So we take the remaining 30 teachers, and if it was $30,000, and they're all full-time teachers, everybody gets another $1,000. And we've always signed a separate agreement, aside from our master contract. It's just a 2-paragraph something that says, this is how we're going to distribute it. We agree that it's not on the salary schedule, and it's a 1-year agreement. And if for some reason they cut the pay, then the school doesn't have to pay it because we don't have the money. Okay, it's not part of our funding formula.